So, hello everyone. I want to welcome my client and clear coder, Claire, today. Claire is a musician, a yoga enthusiast, and a member of the Clear Code, and we're chatting about her experience on the Clear Code today. So, welcome, Claire. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to chat about your journey on the Clear Code. And you've had such amazing experience and so much learning from the program. I would love to kind of start with your journey before you found the Clear Code. What was your acne journey like up until you found me on the interwebs?
It was I had like fine skin all through high school, and it was pretty much like the day of my 20th birthday, and I'm almost 26. So it was about 5.5 years ago. I woke up and I was just like, whose skin is this? Like, what's happening here? It kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't know like what was causing it. It really kind of caught me off guard. Throughout those 5.5 years, saw 3 different dermatologists, different doctors, gynecologists, like all the people, and was given lots of different antibiotics or topicals or creams. Birth control was pushed a bunch. And yeah, none of it just felt intuitively right. It didn't feel right for me. And that was really frustrating to feel like that was my only option. Yeah, then kind of by accident found you, Jill, on Instagram and was like, didn't even have to think. I was like, yes, this feels good.
Oh, that's so exciting. What about kind of pills and creams didn't feel right to you? Because everyone says that, and I always like to dig a little bit deeper. What about hormones, pills didn't feel right?
It just felt like such a band-aid to the problem. Like I just wanted somebody to tell me why. Like, why is this happening? What's causing this? And I felt like a pill or a cream or whatever antibiotic wasn't going to give me that answer. So then what's to stop it coming back? Or like I didn't want to be reliant on this like magic cream for the rest of, who knows how long.
That's how all of us have felt. Was there anything that worked well, but that you were suspicious of? You were like, the second I stop taking this, it's going to stop working.
Yeah, there were a few, like right at the beginning of my acne journey, I went on one round of antibiotics that did kind of help initially. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe it was just, and I think the reason for the antibiotic was like something in the gut that whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, okay, maybe it was just like a gut bug or whatever. and, and this has fixed it. But then, yeah, it came back a couple months later, even worse. So.
Yeah. That happened to me a lot with doxycycline for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
And do you remember what you searched to find me on Instagram?
I actually found you through a previous client. She had tagged your old heal your face with food. And I was like, wait, that's what I want to do. And then, you were the Clear Code, and yeah.
Yeah. So when I started the website and everything, it was a long time ago. And I thought, what would I search if I was looking for what I wanted to do and what I ultimately did? And I thought, heal your skin with food. And then I just kept hitting on heal your face with food. So that's how I ended up doing that. Were you nervous about healing your acne naturally at all?
It's funny. I remember, I think we had my initial like interview on a Friday and we were going to start Monday. And I remember that weekend saying to my mom, like, I'm just so excited at the thought that like in a couple months, this will be gone. Like all of this won't be here anymore. So no, I wasn't. I was really excited for it. I think maybe I might have been a little bit nervous, like, what if this is another thing that doesn't work? But I just believed so strongly that it would that I didn't let myself sit there for long.
That's a lot of people's fears. I like anything, especially when you've been burned badly by things in the past, literally or figuratively, right? I know I've used acne creams that actually burned my face, right? But a lot of people come into the program and they're like, I've tried 6 other things. Like I've really tried 6 other things. What was it about what I did or what you saw on the internet that made you think this could actually work for me?
I think just the idea that like, whatever was going on with my skin was not my fault, but was the result of something else. Like whatever my root trigger was, it was that. It wasn't me. It wasn't anything I was or wasn't doing like purposefully. And so I think that was like really appealing to me was, yeah, I think that this really could help. And I had the last dermatologist of the 3 that I saw.
Yeah.
I asked, is this something I'm eating? Because I had, and on Google, it's like, could be dairy, could be whatever. Yeah. And I said, is this something I'm eating or not eating? And she kind of paused and she said something like, if you'd asked me that 10 years ago, I would have said no. But there is information coming out that the standard American diet is not conducive to skin health. And I like latched onto that.
Like, I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. But then she's still like, but try birth control. And I was like, okay, no thanks. But so yeah, I knew it was like something with food and that there was something that my diet could help.
Oh, I love that. When I went to the dermatologist, that was still not they were still not reporting. One of my goals is that like what I do is recognized medically, because I just knew that there was a link, but I couldn't prove it at that time. Right now, obviously you can. Okay, so on that note, you joined the Clear Code. What were you say? We'll kind of start with challenges. What were your biggest challenges throughout the program, if any, and or little small? They can be tiny, they can be large.
I think eating a variety of stuff, eating the variety that I needed to and the quantity that I needed to. At the time, I was vegetarian and trying to be vegan. I'm not anymore, not for Clear Code reasons, just for life reasons. I felt I was a little bit like boxed in that, and I had to eat a lot more stuff. And I was just kind of like worried. I knew I had to eat more variety. And so then I was worried that I still wasn't eating enough variety. So it was a little overwhelming at first, like adjusting to that mindset and that, because it is really like a lifestyle shift. Mm-hmm. So that was challenging the first couple weeks.
Well, and it's so funny you're mentioning that, because most people come to me. One of my lights went out, but I think we're okay. Most people come to me with the challenge of feeling like we all come into, I think, natural acne healing with this fear around food. Either if you eat X, Y, and Z, it's going to break you out. If you don't eat X, Y, and Z, you're going to break out. I think there is a lot of fear, even just, and maybe you can let me know if this sounds correct, but like, there's a lot of fear around different foods causing acne. Did you feel like, oh, if I touch that food, I'm going to break out as well, on top of what you're also talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything I ate, like everything I ate, is this going to make me break out? Is this what's causing it? Is this is this going to thing that's going to do me in? You know, it was just like, yeah, it was everything. But then with starting the Clear Code, I think that actually was wonderful. That was like helpful, because I was like, okay, these things aren't going to do that. I have 8 weeks of not having to worry about that. That's great.
Oh, I love that. Suddenly you have it's very important for your gut health. We talk about this throughout the program all the time, right? And even I am putting together a video about what I eat in a day, because people ask me that all the time.
Yeah.
And I do. I mean, I construct my Clear Code daily, weekly, monthly. And one of the principles that I use is every week I change up the fruits and veggies that I eat a little bit, because I want the microbiome benefits. I want to change things. And I would say most people come in from a more restrictive perspective, afraid of what foods are going to break them out, and they're afraid to touch certain foods. So I'm so glad to hear that that was like the biggest shift. Like now you eat more, you eat different things, and you eat more of them. So that's really exciting. Okay, so that was a challenge. What was one of the things that you felt like clicked instantly, that was really easy, one of the greatest benefits throughout the program?
Writing down like the daily journal. That was so helpful, just to see, to see every day, like what I've eaten, a very clear outline, but then also to like track my cycle there. And if I was taking any supplements, or what products I'd used on my skin, or how I was feeling, or like all of that. And, now I have like 22, 21 weeks of that to go back and see, oh, yep, there's the pattern. That's it. And that was so great, because I know we had conversations in my weekly videos sometimes where I would be like, I don't know, like, I feel like this is kind of a flare up. And you'd be like, well, actually look back at your journal. Yeah. It's totally okay. Like, this is fine.
It tracks, right?
Right. And that was like, I loved the concrete evidence of that every day, every week.
Yeah, because then it gives you more control, because then all you have to do when you have that data in front of you, like, oh, when I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps at a specific time, I'm going to be more prone to breaking out. But if I only take 1, 2.5 of those steps, so I still live my life, I still have like fun things, I still do fun things, I won't break out. It's like you have control again, which is the thing that's usually been missing with our acne more than anything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
up and down. Okay. So what would you say has been like the greatest learning from the clear code that you've experienced, Claire? If you had to pick, and it can be big or small or thematic or.
I guess like one really concrete thing I kind of mentioned before is like knowing what my root trigger was, like knowing that it was a hormone imbalance and that it was estrogen dominance. That was like mind changing for me.
Can you tell me more about that? Why was it mind changing?
Just because it was finally an answer. Like finally the guesswork is over. Like no more, is it my digestion? Is it dairy? Is it sleeping on the same pillowcase 2 nights in a row? Is it touching my skin? Like all the like weird stuff hacks you read. And I felt like I was trying a new solution or like trying to crack the code like every couple weeks. Yeah. And it was just exhausting. And now when I was like, okay, it's primarily my hormones. Great. Like, yes, I'm so glad to have that answer. That's something that I learned hours into the program. 3 hours of starting, I knew what the cause was, which was great.
What parts, I know the clear code, so we focused on acne healing, right? And are there other parts of your life that it's positively impacted? I know we talked a lot about hormonal balancing, and it's kind of led you down a few like self-discovery paths around that stuff. Do you mind sharing a little bit more about that too?
Yeah. You know, my hormones are so much more balanced now. My cycle is much more regular. If I have a little PMS one week, I know exactly why and when. I just feel more connected to like myself and my body. And I think that's something that as women, we typically have. And I think also if you're considering the clear code or a part of the clear code, you also kind of have that natural intuition. Yeah. Maybe more so than others. But I've really just felt more connected to like myself and how my body works and all of that. And then that's given me so much more freedom socially too. Like I just feel like I'm more comfortable with myself. So I'm more comfortable out with friends or out for the night or at work, or like, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like I know myself more and I know what I need more.
That makes me so happy. Last question. If you could go back to if you could like send a message back to yourself, like before you cleared your acne and maybe you're thinking or worried about natural acne healing, what would you say to yourself back then? If you could like kind of talk to your past self. And it's kind of a random question, but.
No, that's a good question. I would say that because when I would have moments where my skin would really be breaking out, I would just think that it would last forever. And I would just think like, this is it. This is my reality. This is who I am. I guess I'll grow out of it. Like I felt like this was going to last forever. And through the clear code, now kind of really into the program, I just feel like I've learned that when you give yourself what you need, you will eventually come back to this like centered, balanced, healthy, happy version of yourself. And then therefore your skin will be clear. I would tell myself like, that's not going to be forever because this is how it should be and you'll get there.
So it's almost like when you heal the root of the issue, like I always say this, but like clearing your acne is like a byproduct.
Yeah.
So I want to end with a celebration of you and what people keep telling you. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but maybe you do. But I just want you to share kind of to celebrate you, what people have told you like so many times since you've gone through the program. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I've had like 3, 4, maybe more than, I think at least 3 or 4 friends, family, coworkers, people I've never met before be like, you look so healthy. Or like, your skin, the texture, like just like comments that I never was on the receiving end of before have just been, like you look so strong, like the texture, your pore, like just all of, that's been, and I don't really know how to respond when people say that. I'm like, oh,
you look glowy. I feel like glowy is the constant thing that you type in your journal.
Yeah, glowy, which is totally also a good moisturizer, which the clear coat has helped me realize we should all have.
Yes, because we all think to dry it out and it's gonna kill the acne and it just makes it worse, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to have you in the clear code, Claire. I'm so excited for your journey. It's just gonna continue and get better from here. Like you're going to learn more over time. And I know so many of the other members have seen your check-ins and your skin wins over time, and they've just been inspired. So I'm so excited to inspire so many people like you who've been struggling with the same challenges. And thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything.
My pleasure.